Alright, so I'm working on a 1969 Ford Torino Cobra Fastback from AMT. It's always a cool car, always cool to see at car shows. This kit, however, when it's done, it looks cool, but however, it needs a lot of work. I built this kit a few years ago, and it came out really good, but like I said, it needed some work. So let me show you where I'm at right now with it. Give you a quick update here on... because I feel like there's some explaining to do. So, obviously that's the box. Here's the interior. So I painted it Bristolian blue, and then there was a Model Master blue that I used on this. I kept the plastic white for the seats, kind of painted up the silver there. The dashboard was also the Model Master. Used the racing steering wheel, because this is one of these 3-in-1 kits, where it's got you build it stock, custom, and racing. So the racing steering wheel on there. When you put the racing steering wheel in, because it has a separate dashboard for that, you're going to have to cut the hole bigger for the steering wheel, because the steering wheels are apparently different sizes on the dashboard. When you look at this interior here, I'm wondering if the seats and the dashboard actually went with the interior, because you can see the back seats don't really fit in the back, and the dashboard clearly does not fit in. Actually, it's hard to see on the camera here. Focusing on the words there. Let's do this. Put this piece of paper here. I'll get to the engine in a second. The slots on the side... Man, it's not focusing. There you go. The slots on the side here are a lot bigger than the actual dashboard is. And the dashboard just kind of sinks right in there. See that? So... I'm wondering if this tub didn't go with this dashboard. But anyways, so you get it in there, it's in there. Do a little silver on the dashboard there and whatnot. Silver and whites. Boom. Okay. Move on from dashboard. Since the engine's here, we'll go to the engine. Engine is one of these old AMTs, MPC things. Leaves a lot to be desired. Looks pretty decent. Obviously got the velocity stacks there. I'll get to that in a second. This oil filter here goes in on the side here, and that little notch there, can't get that to stay in there to save its life. So I originally was going with, you see it's got the headers there, I was originally going with the chrome headers. That was for the race edition. As you can see, it has the blue slopped all over it from the glue. But when you put them on, let me change hands here. When you put them on, let it go. Right, it goes so low, goes so low that when he put it into the car, the pipes were dragging on the ground. I say you should put the engine in the chassis. The pipes were dragging on the ground. So, like, the pipe should not be lower than the wheels are. So I took those out, popped these guys in. I actually went with those headers, but I painted them up, and then when I went to glue them on, I was missing one. So luckily there was those. We're going to go with those. So, we'll move these guys out of here. This header over there. And then I'm going to use the racing side pipes for underneath the chassis instead of the full muffler system. I kind of figured to go well with the souped up engine. So here's let's move the engine, go to the chassis. Alright. So the chassis, everything's molded in. You can see it needs some touch-ups yet. Everything's molded in. I don't mind the kits where everything's molded in. You just got to know what you're doing. Obviously, need some touch-ups on the pipe here. My yellow was a little watery, so I got to touch up some flat black around there to re-edge that out. But nothing too serious. Front end's got these little pegs that put the wheels in. No big deal. They went in right pretty good. The rear end has the metal axle, the old school metal axle. On this kit, the metal axle was too long for the car. I had to cut the axle to keep the wheels in straight. And I have to reglue that one in there. But because the one wheel would stick out so far, I actually had to cut the metal axle. So that was fun. But, other big thing I did here, if you notice the tape in here, is well-known documented fact with this car. When you put the axle in its normal spot, and I'm out of focus again, the tires actually sit way up front. So I re-drilled out the holes to push them backwards, and of course I got the body on here kind of crazy. But when you snap the body back in, re-glued the hole or re-drilled the holes to push the axle backwards to move the tires center. And I think I did a pretty decent job there. It looks pretty decent. So I got right now holding it in is the tape. I got to redo the one where I cut the side there because now that doesn't want to go into the tire there. Comes with a couple sets of wheels. I have a bunch that I found in my spare parts box that I don't know what I'm doing. Don't know what I'm picking. I'm looking at this one right now. Man, nothing is focusing. Look at that. There it is. Looking at that one right now, I think that would be kind of cool. We shall see. So, with the engine, with its velocity stack, I had to cut the hole into the hood. And I got to tell you, I'm not very good at cutting holes in my hood, and that one looks really, really good. So I got to paint the back here flat black, do that with some acrylics. So, put that on there like that. It's got the little pegs that go in there. It's going to look pretty good. And then the stacks will kind of quasi pop out of there and whoop, whoop, whoop. So like I said, there's quite a few things wrong with this kit. But if you just work with it a little bit, you can make it work. This is not a just throw it together out of the box and think it's going to look good. So I need to do some touch-up paints. I need to fix the back axle just a little bit more. Get the engine re-glued in there. Get the racing spide pipes coming off there. I have a plan for this silver body that I have here. I got a Tamiya TS54 light blue. I have listed on here that it's my Jeff Gordon blue, but looking at my Jeff Gordon car up over here, I don't know if that's the same color. I may be wrong on that, but motorcycle going outside, but we shall see. So I got a plan for the body for a paint job, and we'll see if it works out. So this is where we're at right now. Next will be the final. Alright, so a little tip for the chassis here. If you're moving the wheels back, all I did was drill a little hole on the side, on each side here, push the metal bar back, the metal axle, and then what I did, because the axle was moving around, I originally taped it, but that wasn't going to work. All I did was just take a little piece of spruce, obviously did two pieces here because I didn't realize it was going to actually work, but took two pieces of the sprue, and I just shoved it in there, and now the axle doesn't go anywhere. Obviously this tire needs to be adjusted a little bit because this was the one where I had to cut the metal axle because it was too long there. But go this way, we're fine, and then we have it perfectly centered in the wheel well. So, a little tip there.